Hello and welcome, Squeaky Squeaks.
Sorry, I am so sorry.
Yes, I'm ready. Wow.
Adjust my mic and ruins the whole intro. Yeah,
Welcome back to the
that's me.
podcast, everyone. I'm Rye, and joining me as always is the Squeaky.
Squeaky Mike Banshee.
There we go. Oh, it has been a week and a half, basically, since we last recorded a podcast.
Whoops. Whoops, Daisy. I don't know what to tell you. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen that improv show on Netflix? It was like Fiddleman and Ditch or whatever their names are.
I have not.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds
So
interesting.
they literally made a whole show, and I don't know if they've been working on this or not recently. That they have an audience and they talk to the audience for a little bit. They get some ideas going, and then they do this whole skit that they make up on the spot, and is like some of the funniest stuff ever. And it just reminded me of a skit they did where like a girl broke up with him because he said oopsie doopsie. So like every once in a while I just want to blurt out like oopsie doopsie because of that show. I'll look it up. I'll look up what the show is, but
I already found it and I got it pulled up.
oh, what's it called? I know I messed up their names.
Yeah, it's
I know I did.
Middle did yeah, it's that is weird. It's that first one is Middle Ditch. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's Middle Ditch.
Yeah.
And
Schwartz, that's it. The most Jewish names in existence, I swear.
What's really bad is I wanted to say Middle Edith. I don't know why. But just looking at it, there's an E in there and a D and a T.
By the way, they very much own their Jewish heritage, so I wasn't just speculating. That is actual fact. So.
That's good. Oh wow. My voice is going. Sorry for anyone who hears like weird squeaky type of sounds. That's probably my voice. Now I forgot what I was saying because I apologized for my voice.
See, I was squeaking my mic because I didn't want you to feel alone.
Oh God. I really wish I knew what I was going to say. It's gone.
Oh. The last thing we were talking about before Middleditch and Schwartz was it's been a week and a half-ish, something like that, since we last recorded.
And I hope our new setup, not a big new setup, just a different way of we're recording the voices. So hopefully it's better and clearer and doesn't cut out as much.
I love it. I think it's cool.
And then we might have people just randomly jump in while we're recording, and that doesn't bother me one bit.
Oh, I wondered if you restricted it. Very cool.
Nope, everything is open. Even the new Let's Play voice
we
chat
should design like an announcement for like everyone in this Discord, like, hey, we're about to record, so if you want to jump in, now's your chance. And then just
I might eventually start up doing right before we record, just do a mass everyone broadcast, see if anyone wants to join, but that will come the next time we record, because I wanted to make sure everything was working right first.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good trial run. Maybe Rosie will at least join and then type to us. I bet that's the first time she ever joins us. That'll be how she does it. She'll just
more than likely
join the call, keep herself muted, and then just type to us and we'll respond like that. That'll be her baby steps, and it'll be awesome.
Which I chatted with Beth when I started it up, the Discord channel, and
yeah, I did see some of that, the conversation.
Yeah, she was literally the first person to join the server.
Right? I was so surprised. Well, not really, because she was probably the first one of us awake.
You were technically online when I made it.
I was, but like, so you know me, I full screen into a game and I'm just dead to the world. And then when I get off, I just close everything. Like sometimes I'll notice the notification, but then I'm just like,
Yep.
it's late. I'm sure they can use their imagination why I'm not responding right now. And then I was just like,
I do the exact same thing.
yeah, exactly. So I'll just close up and go to bed, which is what happened last night. And then I woke up and was like, oh, yeah, I should accept that invite. And here we are.
Yep. And
But yeah, Beth joined at 2:00 in the morning for me EST, which means it was 7 a.m. for her over there. So that's why.
Yep. So yeah, so we're expanding our adventures into podcasting and stuff. So making things a little easier on everyone.
Yeah, making things a little more interesting, a little more unpredictable.
Yep. And I think doing it this way, because technically we're going through Discord a little more, not just having a person hosting the call, and that's how it's done. So what it sounds like, it's a lot more stable than us doing an individual call.
Yeah, it'll be a lot easier to keep track of too, I think.
Oh, right. So, yeah, the podcast today will probably be a little short because, as I said, I'm losing my voice. There was something about Instagram I wanted to say. That's where it came from. I just don't know.
Ah.
Oh well. Instagram's like the only social media I use. I mean,
yeah.
Technically, we have a Twitter for the for
oh god,
RattleMind Studios. I do post when I post up or put videos up or whatever. The podcast goes live on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
At least that, which is kind of weird. You have to think, because when I was setting all this up, it was like, excuse me, what are
Dang,
all the?
right.
I know that was deep burp too.
It really was.
But yeah,
man, I can smell that over here. Damn.
But yeah, all the things you got to think about setting up when you start doing stuff like this is just wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Twitter thing, I don't even look at it as. In fact, our Twitter account for the show pretty much follows anime and pet pictures, and that's about it.
Huh.
So the feed on our Twitter here, let's see.
They're on some gaming channels, dang.
Share.
Speaking of gaming, as you've probably seen, I have been obsessed with Void Train lately.
Yep.
Now that it's out. Did you get it? I know you put it on your wish list after you tried the demo.
I have not yet. I bought another game and then because it was on sale.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is what most of our
Fair.
Twitter is. Our Twitter feed looks like. Here, let me show everyone. It's cats. Cats doing weird stuff.
Can't go wrong with cats.
Anime. Someone's YouTube's picture. But yeah, it's mostly just that. That's our Twitter feed.
Okay. I mean, whatever, I guess.
Occasionally we'll have Elon Musk pop onto it, so because I did follow Elon Musk just because why not? Okay. So I will stop showing that on the podcast. So yeah. I really don't give a rat's butt about most social media.
Same.
It just takes up way too much time. And I had gotten so sucked into Instagram for a little while there that I noticed I was starting to act in a specific way that was similar to the people I watch on Instagram. I'm like, fuck me, I can be influenced by this shit.
I mean, that just kind of comes with binging anything, you know,
Very
like
true.
I binge court shows so much that like sometimes I'll think of things as court cases. Like somebody will be like, yeah, I took my dog to the dog park, and I was like, oh, you better hope something doesn't happen because that's a hard case to prove, you know, like, that's just natural, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah, no one is immune to the social media influence. You look at it, you're going to get influenced. You watch TV, you get influenced.
Right. You ever feel like as epic as like a show was after you watch 10 episodes, you know? Like you
Yeah.
just kind of like feel empowered, like, oh my
Well,
god, that was so badass. I could do that, you know? That's might be a toxic trait of mine, but you know.
no, well, it's like I watched the new Power Rangers. I even did a little review podcast about that a while ago. And I was like, yep, I'm so nostalgic. I'm doing the whole morpher pose and everything. Yep, I'm 10 years old now. There we go. It's morphin' time.
Yep.
Yep.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Sorry, I'm drinking a lot of liquids so that I can keep talking. But
Well,
yeah,
don't hurt yourself even more.
it does not take much to influence your.
We need. Yeah, no, yeah, for real. And I mean, that's just how much you love and appreciate the said content, you know? I don't think it speaks negatively per se to ourselves. It's just, you know, it's always a feeling that fades.
Right.
You know, it's like you didn't go out and buy a Power Rangers costume and start vigilanting all over Kansas, you know?
Maybe
Or
I
did I just give
should.
you idea? You know,
I can buy the
maybe I
materials.
secretly actually want you to do that.
Now I just have to figure out what the morphine grid is. Uh,
Or Zoltron when you need him.
Zordon.
Oh, Zordon. Ah.
Apparently he is dissipated into the ether.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
yeah, spoilers for like what Power Rangers Turbo. I think that's when it happened. I don't remember. Which is like 7 series is past. So I mean, I have no idea what Netflix's Power Rangers is going to be. Because Netflix now has a deal with Saban to do Power Rangers.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Netflix being Netflix and all.
Well, the thing is that Saban actually owns Power Rangers again.
Yeah, but Netflix is very trigger happy with its shows lately. Not just in the good way, but also in like a murdering way. like you can trigger something by like starting it, but you
Oh
can
no.
also pull the trigger and murder it. And you know, one of the big gripes with Netflix was that they just keep
Yeah, they
canceling
get
good
cancel
stuff. You know,
happy.
yeah,
Actually, it's
yeah.
Hasbro that currently owns them, owns Power Rangers.
Okay.
According, of course, to Wikipedia, which you can't take, as fully accurate.
Yeah, but a lot closer than what I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, so we've talked about the Little Mermaid movie a lot. I haven't seen it now that it's out, but I have seen clips and bits and pieces and stuff. And you know, the background, like the underwater looks a lot more colorful than we were worried it was gonna be. Like it looks a lot more lively than we thought it was gonna be, you
Yeah,
know?
I still haven't watched it. I'm still annoyed by, this is Disney and the animation for the fish and everything looks like crap.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be weird, but I do want to watch it still though. I still want to see.
Yeah, they look like realistic rubber toys is why I don't really, I can't be all in on the thing. This is just because I'm an animator and it's like, you killed it. Disney, you have probably driven. Well, I know that Disney is facing a lot of issues with its animators. most of them are not getting paid right. They're not getting enough time to actually do the work. So
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
But I mean, I'm sure that's a big part of it. But I also think I'm willing to bet, as it is with most of us, that a lot of it's nostalgia too.
well, yes, but the visual effects departments for the Marvel movies and stuff, which is why they've actually gone downhill, are usually given a week or two. Well, I'm exaggerating, probably about a month or so, to do
I was
all the
gonna
visual
say,
effects in one go for one movie. It's like
I am no expert, but like a
that.
week sounds virtually
That is
impossible.
basically what they're getting told they have.
I'm sure it feels. I'm
You
sure
have
it's bad.
impossible deadline
A
to
month
create this.
also sounds bad for real.
Oh, it is. But yeah, Disney is going through such dire straits financially because of overspending before the pandemic, and then
And then failing to make all these live remakes.
yeah, and then they spent way too much on trying to make Disney Plus, but they didn't actually work on making it viable in the long term. So now that it's been out for what 3 or 4 years, right? Something like that.
I always thought it was so funny how they were not out very long before they bundled with Hulu and ESPN or whatever, the
Yeah,
sports thing.
it's because they were not getting enough subscriptions. So, and this is the weird accounting trick that they were doing so that their market share stayed high for during the pandemic, was that even though you were bundled, they counted Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN as separate subscriptions of revenue.
Oh, hell no.
So
Hell no.
that's how they were inflating their numbers for users. So they were getting a user count on Disney Plus, then on Hulu, and then on ESPN.
Well, if they're being charged separately, I fail to see
They're
how
not being
that
charged
helps towards
separately.
their number.
Yeah. And even
Oh.
in the bundle,
They were just being counted separately.
yeah,
Gotcha.
they were each individually counting. Here's what we got for Disney Plus. Here's what we got for Hulu. Here's what we got for ESPN.
Add it
And
all together, and
yeah,
what do you get? Bibbidi
criminal intent.
bobbidi lice. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like criminal
We
intent
were both thinking the
lies.
same.
Yep. So, and then now Disney is in an extreme dire strait because their deal with Comcast about Hulu is on the verge of expiring. Disney wants to buy it out, but they don't want to pay the price that Hulu's evaluated at. And Comcast also wants to buy Disney out of it, but Disney doesn't want to sell to Comcast. So
they're getting a little too big for their britches.
yeah, so there's a huge back and forth that they're going through financially, trying to figure out if they could make a deal. So eventually it could be just, hey, you got Disney Plus and ESPN. I mean,
That's what I thought it was. Some sports thing.
yeah. Well, ESPN, not a lot of people actually like sports. I hate to put it down to everybody. Sports was just the mass entertainment that everyone could relate to because it doesn't change as often as a TV show or something like that.
Well, I think the biggest problem with it is that, like, people, if they like sports, they like the sport that resonates with them the most.
Right.
Like, they played it in high school or whatever as a kid, like even then, like, I played soccer growing up, like a lot of soccer and indoor soccer. I do not watch like, it's funny because, like, I care if my teams win or not, but, like, I don't need to sit there and watch the entire thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's fun to watch the entire thing sometimes, like, especially if it was, like, when the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. That was so freaking epic, you know? And then, like, me and Matt were having that battle in the Discord.
Yes.
It was just so amazing. He'd be cool to have on the show too
Yeah, I
if you
need to
ever.
invite him to the Discord.
Yeah. If you want to put like a invite all thing in the in the other Discord, feel free. But
yeah, I might. Oh, my sister has a thing. She cannot watch any Royals or Chiefs games at all. Every time she has watched a game,
they lose.
they lose.
I take it
Every
she wasn't watching
time.
the Super Bowl with the Bengals. Damn it.
Of course, then there was also, well, in the realm of sports, the Super Bowl had a huge kerfuffle about why the Chiefs actually made it into the Super Bowl, because they were saying that, someone's picking and choosing these calls that these refs are making, because some things were ignored, some things were over exaggerated. So it was
I do remember there was a lot going on though, like especially I hate to say it, but like on the Bengals side, like I do feel like there's no one was innocent, but
exactly
there was some sketchy calls too. But I mean, like there's always going to be someone saying that about every game ever,
right. It's just
Sorry for the shouting in the background. That is David playing
it's all right. I'm trying
Diablo.
to. Diablo will do that to anyone.
Yes, Diablo. So I've never played the Diablo games, but this game looks pretty dang cool, and it reminds me of an old game called Gauntlet that I
Yes,
play with
that is basically what
sisters back in the day.
I can't speak. That's what
Something.
Diablo is based off of, is that style of game.
Yeah.
Though Diablo's in the isometric third person. Gauntlet originally was a side scroller, if I remember right. But that was when it was in
Ah.
arcades. So
Now we played it. I want to say we played it on PlayStation. I
I
want to
do believe
say.
they did. I think they did make a PlayStation version
Yeah,
of
if it
it.
wasn't PlayStation, so like some consoles had very brief involvement in my childhood, and I know that I think the most popular version was on the GameCube. Now I never owned a GameCube, but I think the one that we played all the time was on PlayStation. But I don't know. I can't remember when the GameCube came into play, but I know there was a version for it. I just don't think I played that version. I just kind of knew of it.
Gauntlet. It was originally owned by Atari.
Huh. Okay. There's some. I think there's a new version on Steam that I was thinking about getting for memory's sake.
There is Gauntlet Online.
What? No.
Yep.
Oh no.
Evidently, Warner Brothers owns the rights to that.
um, I'm not doing that. I love MMOs and everything. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't think I could.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. I'm so good on that.
Yeah. I used to do MMOs all the time, and now it's just like I can handle it every once in a while for like a month,
Right.
and then I have to take a break again.
I have to be motivated by a friend to play MMOs anymore. That used to be all I played. Like
Right.
that was literally it. But then I actually got a good circle of online friends, and my game experience is expanding quite a bit. And now I still love MMOs, especially Guild Wars 2. I know we did a thing on that. But like I definitely got to be motivated by somebody to be like, hey, get in here. And then I'll be like, okay, sure, why not? I'll
Yeah.
spend time with you. And uh, it's very nostalgic going back to old MMOs too. So
It is. Sadly, the MMO that I would probably go back to is no longer.
I feel like we talked about it.
Yep.
I just can't remember what it's called.
Asheron's Call.
Oh, yeah, that one.
It was originally independent. Then Microsoft bought out the studio. And then the studio made a graphically cool sequel, but did not play anything like the original, so it didn't last. because they couldn't convince people to switch over to Asheron's Call 2. Mostly because I think the plot was just kind of weird on how the reason why there was a Asheron's Call 2 was kind of like, okay, so you're saying everyone went underground for a few hundred years, and now Asheron's Call 2 takes place after they've come back to the surface, and we're rebuilding the world. Yeah,
What?
so it was like,
what's the point of doing that when you're basically doing a whole nother MMO? Like that's a whole nother game.
yeah. So after that, the Asheron's Call 2 died. They did Dungeons and Dragons Online, and I think they still. I mean, you can still buy Dungeons and Dragons Online. It's still a thing. If I can spell. There we go. Dungeons and Dragons. I know Steam used to have it. I don't know if they do anymore. The people who made Pathfinder have separated themselves from Wizards of the Coast.
And it doesn't help that, like, I don't know if this is like the majority of people or not, but I wouldn't have even known of his existence if it weren't for you. And
right.
It's God knows how long after it was a thing, you know?
No. Huh. Oh, well. It looks like someone else now does it.
Right on. Fair enough.
Oh, that was an interesting little look into the past. But yeah, a lot of studios just, especially in the MMO realm, try things, but can't quite make because
changes that are as appealing enough to keep up with like the OGs, you know?
Right. Which, that's right. WB Warner Brothers bought Turbine.
Wow, Warner Brothers comes up in this conversation again. Interesting.
Yes, it does. Which I am wondering what is going to happen to their gaming sector. Because Discovery bought Warner Brothers. So are they going to keep the...
And then Hershey bought Discovery. And then Elon Musk bought Hershey, and then like it just keeps going up and up and up. It's really funny how that works out sometimes.
It does. I cannot eat chocolate. There you go.
Ever? Is it an allergy?
They all have soy in them.
Yep. Dang. That sucks.
Okay, yeah. Before they became Warner Brothers property, they created Turbine, created Asheron's Call, Asheron's Call 2,
and
then Dungeons and Dragons Online, and Lord of the Rings Online, apparently.
Oh.
And now looks like they're relegated to creating app games. Yeah. So this is the original Dungeons, the one from Turbine is this game here.
I think the only one of those I actually tried was Lord of the Rings Online. I think many people called it Loader.
Yeah.
Loader Online. And I forgot all about that. I think I remember enjoying the character creation and the theme around Loader, but
that's the one thing that I think the Turbine did great was their character creation.
Yeah.
Because when I played a Turbine game, I knew I could have a character that looked unique. Whereas,
right, and on theme, and
yeah, whereas with
yeah.
these current games, it's like, okay, yeah, I can have generic male face, generic young male face, generic old male face, and I can slider body shape a bit. So I can be short, tall, and muscular or not. And
Ugh.
that's about it. That's
No,
why
no,
I
no,
don't.
no, no.
Yeah, character creation has just gone downhill for
I
a
wish,
long time.
some games could use a simplification of their character creation. Honestly, I think Void Train could use a bit of a simplification because they're so like heavy on the steampunk feel that like they start you off with like the grodiest looking characters. It's really hard to get them like somewhat clean or fresh looking.
Right.
Which is, if grody is your thing, more power to you. I just feel like it's like kind of specific, it's a little too narrow of a path, like so like broaden that, I guess, like it's weird because I'm trying to say to broaden the character creation aspect by simplifying it, which almost sounds contradictory to me. So that's why I'm struggling to like make words into a comprehensible sentence right now.
Well, it's
But
like,
hopefully you know what I mean.
yes, I know what you mean because, if you can adjust the scale of the nose, change the bridge of the nose, change the
Ugh.
depth of the eyebrow, the tilt of the eyebrow, it's like going back to a simple here's sliders. You can pick through a slider of what type of eyebrow you want, and you can change the hair color and stuff. We're okay with that, but we're going a little too far when I can make the nose hook just right. I want to make sure that
Right.
my
How
nose hooks
specific do
up
people
instead of
need to
down.
be? And you don't like it'd be one thing if like you really did just want to include all kind, like every facial type, every body type. But like there are games where you can slide the bar from one polar opposite end all the way to the max other end, and it changed infinitesimally, which I just mispronounced. I realize this. But like there's like such a tiny change you barely notice.
Yeah,
So it's like why it's like why bother? It's so annoying and it's so tedious because I will mess with it until I find one I like, and I hate it because I like it's just me who I am. I have to.
right.
But I also hate it.
I mean, tons of people just get bogged down in character creation that they barely play the game. I mean, I've seen some streamers that have, you know, I had to start the game early because I had to spend about 6 hours on character creation. What the hell? I should be able to do everything I want for my character in 6 minutes. Even that's pushing it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. I can take some time in character creation. Like I can probably spend an hour doing it easily depending on how intricate it is. But like if that's how long it takes, 6 hours or whatever, it's like no, I'm good.
Yeah,
That's too much.
it's like,
Especially like if it is like super like specific and particular, like and you can break everything down that much, then at least I got to think of a reference. Who am I basing this off of? Because if I'm
right.
just like, well, what do I like? Like there's so many of those levels that I don't care. It just makes it harder for my ADHD to pick anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to
uh,
go and try and insert myself in the game. I'm not going to go, okay, the chin is a little too big. There should be a little bit of a cleft, but not too much because, the cleft is really small
I
on my
mean,
chin.
I not gonna lie, I did insert myself into Guild Wars. Obviously as like they're those characters are gonna be a lot like thinner and fitter and cooler.
Yeah.
But I like did pull up pictures and I was like, my eyes are spread like a little closer together or a little further apart or whatever. Like I was trying to be like super precise, and it was actually kind of fun seeing the end result too.
Yeah, when I think the third Dragon Age game came out, I spent enough time that I got the character to almost look like me. I was like, I did this on accident. Why does it look like me? This is creepy. It looks like me.
Interesting. That makes it even more interesting that you weren't even trying to. At least I was trying to.
Yeah. I mean, technically,
What are you projecting? Is what I'm wondering.
I could probably find, because I actually did record it and post it on YouTube.
Right on.
So it's somewhere on some channel that's no longer active. So, all right. Well, we have been talking for over half an hour.
Which is long enough for you with your with your pain you're going through. So at least we did something.
Yeah, we did something. After
we skipped last week.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Because we can. Suck it up.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching or just listening to in the background of whatever you're doing. Much appreciated. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow whatever the podcasts or Tubi thingies you're watching on lets you do.
Right.
I'm tired.
It's all good. Yeah. Much love and appreciation to our listeners, as usual, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.